Okay, guys, it's Sunday, September 20th, 2020, the year of COVID. It's a mobile trading room. We're going to do some Sunday charts with the group, from the Stock Scouts. And let's see here. Everybody will be able to open your mic to ask a question. Let's see. I'm keeping them muted and just to keep the background down. Okay, let's go with AMBA, Ambarella. And that's for Charlotte. On the daily, it's been trending in the trading range right now. If I go out, I like to use the monthly. I'm on Thinkorswim, guys. It's just been kind of in a horizontal pattern to where there's no this is an indecisive move, and it pushed up. What month was this when this came down? The 2015. So we're going back. I'm going back 20 years on this, but for a lot of years. Let me see exactly what this company does, and I'll go to my screen for you guys. I use Investors Business Daily a lot for my just to kind of do a little research. AMBA, and it's Ambarella or Ambarella, Ella, A. Design system on a chip semiconductor processing solutions used in cameras for security surveillance. There is something going on with them. I remember they had news. I think they had upgrades, a lot of analyst upgrades recently. So, yeah, initiated as a buy by Berenberg. A lot of analyst upgrades recently. So that's not a criteria for buying or holding, but you know that it's going to get a lot of of attention. ATR is $2.52 a day, so that moves fairly well in comparison to something like Tesla, which moves like $36 a day. Top one is one of the top upgrades. So okay, let's look at the chart. The chart, it's nothing in the chart that's telling me to hop in this thing right now, but the weekly is trying to show a little life, but you have resistance, weekly resistance, probably around $58.99. But we never know. I mean, you never know how much it's going to push if people pick up steam this upcoming week. Let me get back over to the screen. Thank you. I'm sure I'm not okay. Let's see. Thank you, Lillian. And here we go. This thing is still in the trading range for me. Had a double bottom down here back on July 30th. Found support, is building a base to get out of that little doldrums, but even a cup and handle's kind of forming. So this next week, we write this down. Find something to write it with. I hadn't expected to write it down. We'll write down AMBA. Because it's on a bullish move. The volume was declining, so if we can find an entry above, what's the high? 54.39. It's worth considering a little, maybe a short-term swing trade. You just need to have your stop set and be prepared for it to fall back into that 53 handle. So get above 54.39, in the afternoon, maybe take a look at it. And let's see AMBA. Looking on the options chain, guys. The October 16 expirations are still good. We're in good shape with that. I'm not sure. I think this was for Charlotte Baker. Or, no, hold on. Let's see. Yeah, Charlotte Baker. I'm not sure. Are you going super long term or what? But, oh. You might be better off buying the stock. Let me see how these options look everywhere else. The open interest is not that good. Even in November, it's okay. Maybe the Januaries look good. Kind of pricey, but the January 55 looks okay. Um, okay, Adrian, I got you. It, I'm gonna try to get to it. I was going one in a possible for everybody, but I definitely, if I have time, I'll get to. I think that's Sony. Yeah, because yeah, you got that PlayStation on your mind, PS5. They had a little setback, but I know they're still probably gonna churn a little bit. Let's see, I'm not a big fan of right now of AMBA. Um, of the options available options, Charlotte, but chart isn't great. But if you get above that 54.39, it might be something that you could run to 55.50, possibly. So that's, it's a decent chart. All right, let's go to Zoom. And that this was sent in by Adrian Barden. That was your first one. And Zoom, it recovered well. Gapped up on what day was that? September 1st. So now there's still a gap that it's going to fill down to the area. What's the high right here? 325.90. I don't know when. It's not 100% guaranteed, but the probability is there that it will fill a gap at some point. But the great news is the volume is amazing right now from Friday. And so it's going on a push. It might think about Zoom. It when it moves in both directions. So the morning time, it might flush out and then push. The thing about Zoom, the momentum pushes. If you do get in, you have to set your stops really, really tight because it could flush and go the opposite direction. And it's currently at 438. That breakout area, because the thing about setting your stops with Zoom, you have to set liberal stops because you might get you hop in it and you might get stopped out because the price might fluctuate within what is Zoom's ATR is $28. So it can go down to, geez, it might go down to 410. It, it just is in an idea, but look right here where the breakout occurred on the 4 hour. It's around that 410, 412 handle. So you could put your stop, if you're willing to risk that much, down to the right below 410, you know, because it could come back down and then take off because it looks like it's set up on the daily for continuation. And the continuation, it could test the 446 area, of course. And even I had previous resistance at 454. You can open your mic, Adrian, when you say limit price, like for to buy. I, when I say the 410, is like you set your stops down there, like a stop loss. So if you get the option, you it won't be the same price. So like let's say we hop into this. I prefer that if you do this, you don't buy the option until you have your proper support, not support and resistance, but your trade management ideas in line with that because Zoom is a mover and you get
Okay.
caught into that and you won't be able to get out. Um,
Can you hear me?
Let me see how these things are lining up.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hmm. 455. Charts are looking a little crazy right now. No, I can't hear you.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
You guys can hear me. I'm sure. I hope. Let me see, Adrian. Yeah, it's. Well, you know what? I should be able to hear you.
I can hear you.
Bam.
Can you hear me?
Mo can hear you, and now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
I wonder if everybody could hear me talking at all, man. Mo
Yeah,
came.
we heard you.
Okay, shoot. I'm up here talking and thinking love is in the air. Yeah, and I'm almost in the doghouse at the house. Okay. Uh, well, I, I Zoom looks good to me. It's just have that have that stop set because Zoom. The thing about it, you see how it gapped up here, and then the very
Hmm.
next day, next 3 days, wham! It
Went
gave back
down.
all that almost more than a
Hmm.
50% pullback. That's what can happen, but it's set up. The volume popped. It's not fully overbought yet, which Zoom can stay up above my RSI limits for several days. Um, so I don't. My options chain is not looking clean as it should. But I, you're looking for a quick play, right? A quick trade, Adrian.
Yes.
Okay. And let's see here. Let me get my options chain right. There we go. See that test. Let's go back to Zoom. I and Zoom is pricey at times, but hmm, getting out of the money. I really haven't traded Zoom to the point because the options are so expensive, even out of the money for me. Uh, there's a weekly option, and the closest one that might fit the criteria for that weekly option for a day trade is the 440 call, the
Hmm.
September 25th. But it's a 5 day to expiration, and it's $1,600 right now, but which will change uh, once the market opens. But it's a lot of volume on it, good open interest, depending on what you want to spend, you know,
Hmm.
and because I mean the thing about it, you can't. I mean you can get your money back with Zoom, but if you pay that, you need to set your stop in there. You hop in, and once you're in it, and you're familiar with setting stops on options, correct?
Is that the limit? Like I'm still learning, so
Don't. I'm gonna stop right here. Don't do it. Do
don't do
not do
it.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
don't. If you can't, you don't know how to do the mechanics of in and out.
Hmm.
It Zoom is too fast. I guess hence the name.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's too fast because you get in there and you're like, I'm in profit. I mean, don't spend real money right now. Then Mo can step in if you want, man, on that. I don't think it it's
What's up,
not
bro?
prudent to do that because it's too. If you want to do something, you as you're learning and you have money that's burning a hole through your hand, you can put it in just a basic company that you like, or you save it as you study, as you prepare to get into because there's a lot of you can just watch videos and get a feel for the mechanics, but when you officially put that money in there, and something changes, that
I'm
you,
I'm
um,
actually in a class with I'm almost done. I have one more week. Kelly.
okay, okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Well, I mean, and she gives good setups. I mean, she knows how she identifies everything and walks you through it. So, yeah, save the money while you're in there. That was one of my things with my mentor. He was like, JD, if you're gonna be trading while you're taking this class, it's not gonna work, man. And I didn't understand it at first because the whole idea was that I would learn something that night and I would try it the next day, and but I wouldn't have the full understanding of how it, everything kind of works and the puzzle pieces come together. So,
Right. Like
Zoom,
I
go
know
ahead.
how to, I'm sorry. I know how to do the trading plans and I know how the ask and the bid works and how
Yeah,
to analytically look at a chart. So she was awesome with that. So I learned how to do all of that stuff. So I know how to do that, but to get in there and those stops you were talking about,
that's the hardest part.
yeah.
That's one of the hardest part. It's gonna have to be something that fits with you. That's why I'm glad that you're able to ask her questions and things like that because when we watch videos, um, there's a gap in the explanation of like, hey, you said set your stop loss, but where do I set it? And it has to come with what your account size is, what you're willing to risk, and your level of your pain threshold. That you're developing that right now as you're in class.
And that's your 10 and 20%. Is
It
that
depends, like if
okay?
it's if it's 5% of your account size or less, you never risk because there's certain criteria where people say I see some option trader they'll risk 40 to make 80.
Hmm.
You go a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 risk reward. It, that I think Kelly's definitely gonna get to that by the end of this. When you get off into this, that's kind of one of the last things you're gonna be introduced to, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I like Zoom. It's just gonna be a pricey move. It's a risky move with the front week actually option, but if you if you had that parachute ripcord ready to pull when it pulls back to a certain level and you get out and say okay I'm not or if it hits and you exit that falls into just
Mm-hmm.
have that mapped out because it seems like you definitely have everything planned out. So
Mm-hmm.
um, let me go to the next one and then I'll come back around to you with that and we can talk some more about it if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay, but
Thank you.
Zoom looks really good to me.
They do.
Yeah, I'm all in. Not all in, but I mean, I like Zoom. All right. Next one is FMCI for Vanessa G. And let's go to the weekly. This is another SPAC, man. SPAC has been SPACing. That
Sorry.
that's okay. And I think Vanessa's still in here. Yeah. All right. And everybody can unmute themselves when it's time. So let's see, Vanessa. Okay, good deal. SPAC. I mean, this has been a crazy run. Initial run. The SPAC. It's on the monthly, extremely overbought, which that's expected when it's a new issue. Go to the weekly, same thing, overbought, heavily overbought, which is understandable. And it broke. I mean, we had the pullback to support and a blast off and a flag pattern on a lower time frame, but it's just bullish continuation. Uh, Happy Sunday, Selena. And on the daily, let's go right there. Daily chart is broke out of. I mean, that could be a pennant. This could be a wedge pattern, wedge break, in anything we want to call it. It was a bullish move, bullish play. Um, Up on decreasing volume, declining volume. Let's see, it was at 3 million. Took about half of that on Friday, going into the close. There's a bull flag setting up right now on the 4-hour. Let me just see how this goes. There's a chance for bullish continuation into Monday. See if it pulls back. 26. 20. Okay, if you get a break above 28.64, see if it holds. See if it can hold above that throughout, like after lunch Eastern, 1 o'clock Eastern. See what it's doing around that time, because they're getting a lot of positive news, just a lot of energy. Now, I'm sure the options might be, the implied volatility might be kind of high. Monthly options, IV is, 152 on the IV, but plenty of open interest. Let me see. Yeah. And the thing about it, the spreads are really good. This $30 October 16th $30 call, that looks good. October. I'm not in it. I'm not moving on FMCI right now. I don't have a feel for that company. This is a new ticker, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. I don't really trade the new ones right now, but I mean, it's overbought. So be cautious of exhaustion of, like, if you get in and that thing just pulls back. It happens all the time. But not to just saying that to just scare you. Uh, hey Cheryl, how's it going? Oh, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. But the thing about momentum runners, they pick up steam and they continue, but people also take profit. Is be cautious. We're going up on declining volume, so that means the strength is kind of going out of it. We'll see what happens on Monday. That 28.34 area is key for that hourly high, because we might flush out in the morning. The high is 28.64. Let it happen in the afternoon to see if you're gonna make that move. I'm not giving a recommendation like, hey, get in this, buy this. But if it doesn't look bad, if you like it, you know, or if it's a long-term play, I still think this thing is kind of developing itself. It's kind of revealing who it is, but it's not that bad. And that October 16th, it's a little pricey on the implied volatility is very high. I've seen higher, but when this deflates, these prices will go down. So if you're in it and the volatility just leaves, you'll lose value on your option. So kind of just, you got to play this one. I'm not excited about it, but it's not, it's something to keep an eye on. I can't just say, hey, hop in there. You know, um, that was for Vanessa. So I wish I had more on that, Vanessa. Sorry. And SPAC is I like SPACs, but it could, I mean, the thing could run to 50, but the probabilities, that's what we operate in, you know, And Mo and I will do that in our course on Wednesday. Just we'll talk probabilities on the charts because there's no definites, but you can see a move, a possible move, a potential move, and there's still room. Like I said, but when I look at my RSI, I see when RSI is over 70, it's overbought. When it's overbought, it can stay up there for a while, but at some point, people take profit. It begins to lose its steam, and price usually comes with it. So, okay, let's go to SPG for, I think, Cornelius Coachman, Coach, how they say down in the South. Go tell Coach you can't make it to practice today. Go, but look both ways before you cross that road. I'm from Texas. All my family's from Arkansas and Louisiana, so I hear that. I used to hear that all the time. All right, SPG's trying to come out of a base. It's trying its best, but we had a 3-pin reversal. Bop, 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 and with continuation. We need to see how it's going to act once it gets down here. But the thing about SPG, native New Yorker. All right, Adrian. I heard that accent up there. I knew it was up East Coast. But Coach, I don't know, man. You see, like when it does the 3 pins on the previous, you go 3 days pullback, give or take. You get the reversal 3 days. Not always 3 days, but it's a lot of indecision in SPG, and it's going to come down to they do the malls, the strip malls. And I've been watching these guys. I like them, uh, but they can't get any momentum. Let's see if I do this right here. On the weekly, it's holding up. What's the high right there? 75.20. We get above 75.20. That might be an area to watch as well for me. Um, the thing about SPG news plays a really big role in this. And Simon reports will not open. Okay, that's key. Simon reports will not open properties on Thanksgiving Day. That was on the 14th, so that was last week. Shares of several real estate companies are trading higher amid market strength as stocks begin to rebound. Yeah, man, everything. Okay, if you're doing something in Simon, I would look for that January 15th or the March. Let's see what January 15th looks like. And it's set the 70, $780 by 870. 80s. It's a risky play unless you just buying the stock and buying it and holding it with the hope and the anticipation of a rebound, because this company has history. I'm gonna go to real quick, put it on the screen. I'm gonna go to IBD. Let me do a new share with you. And see what type of accumulation is happening on this, guys. I hope you can see my screen. All right, Simon Property Group, it's a REIT that owns, so basically real estate RE investment trust, REIT, or however people pronounce it. When I hear them on TV, they say REITs, so I'm going REIT. Anyway, REIT that owns, operates, develop regional malls, outlets, which they have been hit. The shopping centers were hit. They had to shut them down. They finally reopened some of them. So it's flip-flopping, man. Accumulation's a B, so I mean, there's some people hopping into it. Um, this is the key for me. I mean, I know that's in April, but the coronavirus, if that second wave hits and shuts anything down, this is going to take a hit big time. All of the regional shopping malls or any of the anything has to do with real estate, rentals, and properties. So be cautious. If you're building up a long-term position, do the share accumulation piece by piece, but also it's trying to find support, man, but it's not making a decision. It's just kind of hanging it really in a range. I could draw my range there and to here down to the 44. Really hadn't gone much above this except for right in June. So that's a no, really a no go for me, coach. Just kind of let this see how this thing turns out. All right, Jason wanted to do PENN. So I've been doing PENN. Did I type PENN in there? Yeah. PENN and DraftKings have been on our list to kind of pay attention to for Mo and I. I've been watching that. And if you look at this, something called a parabolic, it's a parabolic wedge actually, not a traditional wedge, but when a parabolic move occurs, that means straight up, it's unsustainable. But this is on the monthly, so it doesn't mean it's just going to pull back right now. So as we drill down further, weekly, same thing. This sucker was moving. I've been watching it, and I'll show you what I was drawing. Full flag, just a powerful flag pattern. Had a flag pattern here, an extended flag off of that reversal. And the thing about PENN, it's a casino, but they also have a bookmaker. So when sports came back into prominence, when MLB started going, they got a little love. NBA had the bubble, they got a little love. But when the NFL opened, that's the catalyst that really pushed these guys out of this trading range that we'll show you right here. And trading ranges are something good. It's frustrating for a stockholder, shareholder, because it's like it's not going up, it's not going down. But when you see it churning up, hitting a level where it won't go past a certain level, you know something's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to. Basically, you're looking for a breakout or a breakdown. Usually, you go with the prevailing trend, but if it trends in a trading range for a long period of time, the probabilities of it breaking out begin to dwindle, and you look for. So this thing broke out. It tested its level, broke out, came back and retested, and it's pushing. We're looking at probably a pullback a little bit. Take a breather. 65, give or take. Um, the move has happened in PENN. Now, if you're looking to go long-term buy and hold, that's a different story. But if you're trying to hop into an option right now, I, I'd wait. It's pulling back enough to where it's going to, it'll either go down below my RSI. It's a hard call on PENN. It's not a buy yet. In the options situation, for me, I use the daily chart for my entries, guys. Go to the hourly. That was a good pullback on the hourly right here. And I look at RSI, guys. Look, you can look that up, study it. Relative Strength Index. Pull back. I'd expect maybe a pullback to the breakout level down here, 67. I can't call an entry, guys, right now. It needs to come back on the daily. So let's go to DraftKings. DraftKings has been on a serious run, had a nice pullback. I should still be in that thing. I'm mad. I got a little money out of it, but talk about a breakout of epic proportions. That is beautiful, man. This falls into the trading range right here, but this is really a wedge break. And when you see a wedge break, it's something we're going to talk about on Wednesday, man. We're going to talk about patterns that break out and you prepare in anticipation for a move. Yeah, guys, hop in our class, man. It'll be if it's not doesn't fit for you that first day, you get your money back. But we guarantee you, it's a 3-day options course. You're gonna see something that you're gonna match up with it. This breakout has been coming. I mean, it'd be tough to enter right here. You have guts, but the trend line was set. It broke it, And you know, when it breaks out, you get excited. A lot of times they come back and they left something at home and it's trying to run away. It left it, you know, it's left his GI Joe, his toys at the crib. Didn't so you snuck back in. Okay, Mama didn't see me, and I'm out. Boom, and it's taken off. The volume declined just a little bit, but the thing about this, a momentum runner can keep running. It's overbought, and I can't chase it. I should still be in it, but you can't. It's a risk if you hop in and buy it at this level, because just the way things happen, the natural order of things, you'll buy this stock, and this thing will come back down to $40.88, $45, you know, and you'll be like, oh man, the market is a fraud. It is just that is just how it is. So you prepare for that. Um, we want to catch the move prior to. So here's the news. Let's see, 918 ETF short sellers. Okay, people tried to short DraftKings, and they've lost 1.3 billion on it, and Penn National. The other one that falls into that category, um, uh, yeah, the market's a beast, but I love it. I love it. If you are new, can you come to the class? Yeah, yeah, you can come to the class, Shimona. Um, let's see. I can send the whole layout. It's 3 days. Just give me let me email you. Let me email you, or you just use my email address, and I'll be able to send it so I can get all this info. It's in the chat bar, my email, and I'll send it to you. Um, don't let it run away. Don't chase it. Let this pullback find support. Now, if you're buying DraftKings for the long term, it's tough to time, but you can't. You're going to see a pullback. It's not going to run to the moon, so you can wait a little bit and let it have a red day. Let it have one of those red candles show up. Let it pull back. Find the entry, and you can chip away if you're trying to buy shares of DraftKings. Um, that's it. It's not a buy right now for me. It's not a trade on the daily. So we missed the move all the way back from here. You know, the day of September 9th is beautiful. This is perfection. Um, and Caesars was doing the same thing. Caesar's Palace. You'll see the same thing that was on PENN, where we identified trading range, the breakout, like where I said, little dude wanted to run away from home, ran away. Oh man, I forgot my other shoes because we're gonna go hoop. Parents came home. He had to go back in the house, and then you finally broke out and got free. You know, so there, I'm kind of breaking it down in that way. But you can pick up a pattern, you can pick up a trend, and then also Caesars, Penn, Boyd, and they're all in the same sector, same industry. Now, certain ones are really good, like everything didn't work perfectly. Boyd broke out and it failed. Their sports book isn't as strong as Penn's, and they're definitely not that focused. Boyd relies more on the casinos, the racetrack, the hotel. They're having trouble with the opening. So to reopen Delta Downs Racetrack Casino Hotel on Wednesday, that might be something to pay attention to. So, uh, Boyd Gaming, analysts raised its price on 9/9, but just because an analyst raises the price doesn't mean that stock is going to jump, even though it did push. But let's go to this next one real quick. Okay, Shimona, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, wanted ODC. Now that looked good when I checked it out on my phone. Let's check it out. Old DRI Corporation. Before I go, let's before I look at the chart, let's look at the ODC on Investors Business Daily. I subscribe to this. I used to get the paper, now it's the digital. Shout out to Mo Jackson. Thank you for letting me know that I can still get the paper with the digital, because it's a monthly subscription. I mean, it's a free website, but to get to the detail that you want, I said it's worth it to pay for me. Uh, ODC, it manufactures cat litter. Is this the right one? Hey, Shimona, am I looking at the right one? Kitty litter?
No, it was supposed. They said it was oil. When
Yeah.
I originally looked, it's
It
about
says
oil.
Oil DRI Corporation. Yeah, it says
Hmm.
oil. So manufactures cat litter and other sorbent products for consumer, industrial, auto.
Okay. I thought it was the oil and auto.
Me too.
Who said tears? I know. I was like, I never even saw the cat litter.
I was like, kitty litter.
Hey,
Let me go
well.
to another page. Hold on one second. Let me go to see. Let me see here. Oil DRI. Come on. Okay, it's basic materials, specialty chemicals. Maybe it's in the oil and has kitty litter as one of its products.
But that is
Mineral-based technology
hilarious.
used for antibiotic-free animal protein. Okay, so the chemical side of things is what the key is right now.
Right.
Okay, so we're good with that. Volume, average volume. Let me see what the volume is on this because this thing looks good, but that's it. Be careful. This volume is really low. Okay, if you see my cursor down here, it says like volume and 7607. Let
Wait,
me
can you
change the
do that one
screen.
more time? I'm sorry.
Let
Yeah,
me
because I
change the
didn't see
screen.
it.
God, I do it every time. Okay, you see my cursor
Okay.
down here?
Yes.
It's telling me right here, every time I move my cursor over a candle, it gives me the daily volume, average daily volume, or just the volume for that day. So
Okay.
there's only 7,000 shares traded on this one on that day. Let me zoom in closer so you can see it. So we had 4,000 on that day, 19,000. Let's see what we had on this day. 48,000. So I made the joke the other day. I said when it's a low volume mover or stock, I was like the Qs on Gramblin's Yard can manipulate this stock. The entire, the Panhellenic chapters or whatever, they can decide. We're gonna get into ODC and we're gonna move ODC up, and there's just not enough shares to be traded to make an options trade. But
Okay.
if you want to get in it and because you like the company, how did you find this company?
I received an email. I always sign up for things
Yeah.
to kind of say, look at these. And it was in there. And then there was a bunch of people talking about it saying, oh, I put this on my call. I did this. I said, okay,
And
well,
they
let me
made some
look because
money.
I don't know. Right.
Well, the thing about it, and it looks like it happened Friday. They made some paper on
Yes.
Friday. And when it's low volume, just like I said, the Qs they can move the market on a low volume. So that email blast got enough energy behind it for that thing to push. And it still may keep pushing, but it's going to come up to some resistance. 38, it's about to sniff some resistance. Let's look at the 4 hour. And when I say resistance, what's the high right here? 3880. I'm gonna put it right there. When it starts getting up in this area, I'd expect some of that people to take profit. Profit takers are going to step in. So be careful with this one. This is a no. I mean, when I say that, this thing might be at 46 by Tuesday, but the probability for me is not, the risk reward isn't what I want. But you could, if you have a certain amount of money that you had set aside for it, it might be something for you. It's definitely not something, one that I'm comfortable with and has no options. So,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
yeah.
All
But
right. Thank you.
it had me hyped though. I'm telling you, man. I saw that chart. The chart looks good. Well, let's do this. Let me go to Tesla, and Tesla's hype, man. Tesla. I'm hyped about Tesla. I just always like Tesla, and I like people say, "Oh man, uh, all these other stocks in the world that's out there, and Tesla's this," and the same people that they dog LeBron James. Well, you don't have to have him on your team, but if he shows up at your practice, you're gonna send him away. You're gonna say, "Nah, big fella, you too hyped up," or you're gonna say, "I'm gonna get you that jersey. Have your mama sign this permission slip, and What size shoes you wear, big fella? That's for me with Tesla. If the setup is there, I don't shy away from it. Now, what I what I find myself doing, I will get emotional from the standpoint of where I'm like, my eyes get big because the moves are powerful, and that's just a natural thing. Nice, Adrian. That Tesla option at four. How much are the Tesla options? It just depends on the strike price. I'll look them up, Chris. And that weekly chart. Think about Tesla, man. The moves are rapid. They're 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 sharp. And now, what happened this past week? Where's June? I made, my baby girl was graduating around early June, and I made some nice little profit in Tesla. I gave a handful of it back at times, but the moves have been decisive. I had a bullish move all the way up until we got to the end of August, and the sell-off in September has just infused, and just a heavy infusion of red. But what the sneaky thing is, there's a bullish hammer candle within this journey down. Now, you see a bullish candle, like you see a hammer, doesn't mean to automatically go in. We saw these are two reversal candles that where you're thinking like, oh man, it's a possibility. And I know people lost money in that because it just happens. But the reversal was beginning on these days. It just was an anomaly for this to happen, which happens in the market for another sell-off. So found support, sold off. The breakout occurred with volume, continuation with volume, had a 2-day pullback, and this Friday, it just traded in a little bit of a range. It closed red, but after hour, it closed at 442.15. But after hours, it went up $7. So in anticipation of Tuesday's battery day. Now, what the thing is that the move and the anticipation and the volatility happens prior to the event. After the event, a lot of times, or at the event, volatility just sucks out. So if you're trying to trade that, if that price gets above 451, it's a chance for go time. Now, Tesla tends to pop in the mornings, and or go down. And let's see, last Friday or Thursday, it popped early and sold off the rest of the day. Popped up early, like it opened down here, sold off and found support, ran up, pulled back. So there's a lot of emotion involved with this. Then it made a run after hours. It opened the other day here, pushed up, came back down, it's just kind of indecisive. But if I look at the hourly, I could say we have an inverse head and shoulders for a push up, or if I could even back out further and say an inverse head and shoulders. So I do feel that the 449.50 area is a good one, and the 451 above that. So I'm in a call option right now on Tesla. Let's see, I'm down on probably a couple $100, but I have my stop loss set at a certain level. I'm in the September 25th, $530 option. So Chris, like you were asking, how much are the options? There's Tesla has hundreds of options on strike. So I don't know which one you're looking for. Expiration September 25th. So this is 5 days to expiration. Pay attention to theta. And if you don't know what theta is, it's time to go to this website right here and study up. Let me give it to you. Go to investopedia.com, type in any word that you hear that you're not familiar with. It's time. That's how you hack it. You hack the system where you can study on your own, you catch words, and you don't have to rely on someone else giving you the info. You come back with the info, and you can vet them. You check them to see, So anyway, Tesla's options are pricey, man. If you go into money front month, that's $3,860, which, guys, if it moves in the right way, that money that go 447 to goes to 450. Let's say
That's
you
the
go up
whole
to,
goddamn class. I tell you, that's why I don't fully understand it. That's why I haven't actually invested anything. I'm still just looking and listening. And I see people making money for sure, but I gotta understand what I'm investing my money in.
that's good. That's what I want. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't just hop in,
Mm-hmm.
because the same time that you can make that money, you will give it right back to the market in tuition. So
JD,
yes.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have come across the Kamak cousins. Have you looked at their Facebook group and what they're doing over there?
The
Oh,
who?
that's Chris.
Kamak cousins.
You talking about
Oh,
overseas?
Kamikaze. No, I haven't.
No. So that group, I'd recommend you look at it because there's a fellow called Mark Monroe who's running sessions on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and you will be wow, you'll be shocked in terms of the quality of the information that he's giving, and also a blueprint with worked examples. So there are over, I think it's close to over 18,000 people now who've
Well, I'll tell
joined
you this.
the YouTube.
I've watched his YouTube channel. It's a good channel, and I think I'm gonna stick
Yeah.
right now
So
with my program with right now, Chris, because if I get too fragmented,
no,
you know
I
what?
understand what you're saying, but in terms of, I mean, they're basically focused on ETFs, right?
Right.
So it means that you have lower risk, but you're using ETFs and you use the options with an ETF. So in terms of the terms that you're talking about, he describes a lot of those things. So again, you don't need to deviate, but it's knowledge out there that he's giving for free, and the fellow's a multimillionaire. You never usually get access to someone who's a multimillionaire for an hour or two every week. And all of it is on YouTube as well. So just telling you that that's out there, right?
I like him. I've watched a few of his videos, man. So definitely the I know Mark Monroe, the name. I didn't know the kamikaze names on the side of it, but yeah, I definitely like what what he's saying, and just I'll tell you this, man. I'll absorb, at times, but I'm fairly locked in right now on
And that's
program
the
and
good thing,
style.
right? So that's the beauty. Once you have a plan and you've got a process, then fine, execute it. But for people who are not, who are still finding their way on researching stuff, it's another alternative, and there's a lot of knowledge out there that he's giving.
Okay.
I just thought I'd mention it. So
I appreciate it, man.
It's no problem.
Tesla right now, guys, is a volatile buy in my opinion. Long term, I like it. Long term, I like the option. I like the stock for a long term play. Um, you might get your pullback, but over to tomorrow, I'm looking for if it breaks above that 451 early, there might be an entry. But you also watch this level right here. What's the close of? It's going to be above this. The high is 463. So look for that 460 area as another area, just to kind of, we'll keep our eyes on that, because I just don't want to let it get away from you. But you got to set your stops with Tesla. You say you decide how much you will risk prior to you getting that option, because the thing about it, you get in it, and within 30 seconds, the option will give back. It will, whatever profit you have, you're gonna give it back to the market, and then you'll be down. You have to. So you have to prepare to see red right here. Like I might be down $300 right now, $256. I'm comfortable with that because that's within my risk reward, to where I'll risk a certain amount and with the probability of making a 2-to-1 um, ratio. So that's where I am. I mean, you should be able to see it on my screen. I got in at 1728. It's down to 1475, and I'm comfortable with that. And I'll move
But that
forward.
option, JD, that option cost you what, 1420?
Yes. Here, let me see. It was no, option cost me $17.28, which is $1,728.
Yeah, okay.
And it's
And that
currently trading.
expires on the 25th.
Say it again. Oh yeah, it
And that
expires on
expires
the 25th. And you don't have to keep your option that long. You can keep
Yeah.
it as long as you'd like. But that expiration date is pending. It's coming. The clock is ticking, and the value of that option, it adjusts minute by minute. So it's just something to be careful about, be cautious about. Let's see. Come Up Series is a YouTube channel, Mr. Mark Monroe. Thank you, Robin, this host. You're right, Jada. I like your room because I appreciate that. Thank you. And I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. I got everyone's. I know I'm recording it because I'm gonna post a recording. I want to spend all day on a Sunday, have you guys in here just locked in. But Tesla is something to watch. Now, if you buy that option on Tuesday for anticipation of battery day, just be careful. Be prepared for a pullback. Be prepared for maybe an early morning push, and then there's things called, deflation comes. It could lose all of its just momentum when people take profit, and that. But the other thing you could do, it ran for days right here, 1, 2, 3. Even on a bad day, it closed above, where it opened the previous day. And then the next day it pushed. So you can get you a 5-day runner off of a reversal move right here, because this is called a 3-pin reversal. And we teach that in the class. We'll teach that on Wednesday. 3-pin reversal, you catch those. Those are power moves a lot of times. The probability is there. It's not a guarantee. The probability is high. And you look
JD, can you show that one more time? I'm sorry. The
okay,
3-pin.
3-pin? Okay.
Yeah.
One second. Oh, and Adrian, if you buy Tuesday, like I was saying, if you buy Tuesday, it's a good chance that the move has, already have happened. So I can't tell you when to buy. If it goes above 451, like I was saying earlier, that's an entry for me. Yeah, it's another entry if the price gets above 451. But now listen, when you're writing this down, guys, listen, write the caveats down. After 11 a.m. Central, you want to let that price trend. If you're not writing these notes down, it's going to catch you and it's going to take that money. You want to see this price hold above 451 and see how it acts. Because now, if it takes off and just takes off to the moon, man, you can latch on for a ride, but you have to establish an exit. Like, look, let me get this money and get out, because you got to grab your bag, because the market's going to take that bag back. There's somebody on the other side of your trade. They're waiting to make that move to pull the rug out. So you make your decision prior to hopping in. The bag grab is key. Yeah, Larry, thank you, man. And you journal all the trades, because I look back and I can, you can look back and see. I got 15 years of journals. I'm a scout, so I keep reports, and that's just part of me. But I mean, that's from Friday, and it says I got $90 out of Tesla. Should have held longer, and I'm back in. So I just think if you spot something like, let's see if I'll show you the 3-pin right here. Let me remove this real quick, and then I'm gonna wrap in a second, guys. tell Mark Monroe to open up that trading room on a Sunday for me, man, so we can hop in there. I'm messing with you, dog. Three-pin reversal, and it's tough to understand, but basically it's just a morning star. It could be a morning star doji. It's a reversal candle, even though they're green. That's a pin. The wick on the candle. That's a pin. That's a pin. That's a pin, and it operates in that manner. And you look for a move to the upside, and then you can do the reversal. You'll see an evening star doji or evening star. Look at those. Those are candlestick patterns. You can look those up. Morning star and evening star. Let's see here. Down here's a 3-pin. Let me back out. And it's something that you begin to spot. It won't always be as prominent, or but you'll start seeing. That could be a 3-pin, but it really wasn't how we like it, how I like it. This is a 3-pin, and they don't always work out perfectly, but I mean, a lot of times you get the 3-pin and you see a change in direction. It doesn't. And now the next thing is you don't know how long that reversal will last, but you can expect a reversal, like with Tesla. Reversal is a positive move right now. So look at that, and that's. I hope I was able to explain that. And the last one I'll give you guys, I was looking at Apple, man. I'm looking at Apple for a pullback. A little concerned about Apple for the short term. For me, an inverse head and shoulders. These two are considered the head, in my opinion. I could draw my head and shoulders as a very large head. Left shoulder, right shoulder. We have my neckline, and it's broken that, and it's filled the gap. You can look up gap fills, guys. And I'm looking, and there's a big. Everybody on Twitter, if you can look for it, people are trying to decide is Apple going to close, fill this gap right here, and you never know. I mean, it could find support. I'm a long-term holder of Apple. I'm a long-term supporter, but I think right now Apple is on it might pull back for a little bit. If we look on the weekly, I wouldn't say right now, if you looked at Apple's chart, I wouldn't say it's not screaming buy me, hop in there and buy me. It's saying be cautious. Now, if you're long-term, if you're looking for the long-term, you don't worry about short-term plays, but there's going to be a chance for you possibly to get Apple at a cheaper price, but it's not going to be much cheaper, I don't think, and it's just that's a probability. So waiting for the iPhone is supposed to come out in November exactly, and I can't tell when it's going to happen, but and think about it, right when everybody thinks it's going to keep going down, it'll find support and that sucker will start running again, but if you're buying long term, you chip away at it. You chip away, and the options. I'm not going to even look at the options right now because I would be looking at puts if I were to get into Apple, and
Okay.
I don't really short Apple.
I was just going to ask you about those Apple options that King gave earlier in the week.
Yeah. The long term now. The long term leaps look good, and that'll be another day. That's
Okay,
definitely
cool.
that was a good. Those Apple options were strong. It's just, and just like what he said is like, you could wait on it, actually show patience, and taking one of Larry's lines, traders we're paid to wait, to have patience, to wait it out. But
Thanks, JD.
oh, no problem. Making up the losses with the iPhone 12. Yeah, and thanks for coming in, Robin. And what's up, Kylan? But guys, look, Mason, yeah, I believe so, Kylan. Unfinished business on the downside. But look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to post this video in the in the Stock Scouts group, and you can have access to it. But you know, I don't want to spend all morning right now on charts, and I know it's football for some folks and individuals, but maybe Mark Monroe's room's open. Okay. Anyway, but guys, email me if you have any questions. But look for I'll try to tag everybody that was in here in this little. You know, you can just have reference to it. But I'll open the trading room tomorrow. Same link. Probably 30 minutes to an hour before the market opens. I might play a Rich Dad Poor Dad or something like that, and then maybe 30 minutes prior to we'll talk about the market. But I won't be able to stay in but more than an hour, and then Tuesday it'll open back up, and I'll probably be there all day. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we have our options class, so the room will be closed on those days just to the students. So, guys, thank y'all for coming. Let me stop this recording and post that.